can see that probably what he preaches is what he is, because he looks to have just inner peace and to be very balanced. So with that, Dr. Glassman.
Thanks for the opportunity. And Susan made reference to 20. I've been in practice for over 20 years. And so what's a medical doctor doing up here kind of in the business section here? Well, for those of you who are lucky to stay tonight, I'm going to perform some brain surgery. But one thing I want to mention before we get started, some people had made some reference to this niacin and the flush that it sometimes gives. And I have to say that I sometimes get, the niacin, especially if I am standing up here and I embarrass myself and turn red. Okay, it's not because I'm embarrassed; it's because I took the niacin. Okay, so that's just something.
That's a good cover-up.
Yeah, that's what it is exactly. So it's actually a very good side effect. Okay, it also means that it's working, which is a really good thing. But so how many really are really excited? I mean, here this is a groundbreaking opportunity. Okay, this is a groundbreaking opportunity, business opportunity. It's a groundbreaking product. Really, honestly, this is the first time I'm learning about the science behind it. I was just introduced to, I was actually introduced to it about 6 months ago, and I was telling someone tonight that it's been sitting in my refrigerator open for 6 months. Now, you're not supposed to do that, okay? But I started taking it recently, and it was a little bitter. In fact, I asked my wife to taste it. It was a little bitter. And I saw Matthew's little clip on Lifetime, and I thought that the woman, after he said, take some, and she drank it, and she said, yeah, it is good. I thought that she was like lying a little bit, just not to make him feel so bad, because after 6 months, it really didn't taste that great. Okay. But it really does taste good when you open it, a new bottle. It's really great. But so, what I'm saying is, how many people get excited, but how many times does that happen in your life? I mean, how many of us get really excited if we hear a super motivational speaker, or we go to our place of worship and we hear our clergy give a really powerful sermon, something that really helps us, that really gets us charged up. Then we go back into our lives. In fact, we might go home the same day and our children are arguing, okay, the bills are piling up. So that's very, very common. Well, about 3 years ago, a patient came to me, and he said to me that he felt really charged up after meeting with me. It was, so motivated to change his life around, to really get on target with his weight, with his diet. But then something would always happen. He'd go back into his life, the stresses would hit, and then all of a sudden, things would spiral downward. So we came up with this idea, because he came to me, can you do something, Dr. Glassman, to help motivate me, to help keep me on track with that? And we came up with a weekly message, a weekly email. It wasn't a message then. It was a weekly email. And I started giving that to him, sending it out to him every week. But after 2 or 3 weeks, I realized that this was not only about him. This really applies to everyone. So I started growing my email. It wasn't just 2 sentences anymore. It became a couple paragraphs, maybe a page or so. And this was going on for about 1.5 years, and my email list was growing as well. People would come to me and say, you really should turn this into a book. And so that's what I did. But the process of doing that made me look into myself. What would happen to me? And this is really, everything I write and still write, I still write a weekly message, is all about me. What makes me what makes me lose track? I know a lot about network marketing, because I was involved in a couple companies before, never on the ground floor though. But there were certain things in my experience, just one example, why would I lose steam and motivation? I mean, I would go to a meeting like this, and I'd be really pumped up. But then I'd go back into my life. So when I said that I'm going to do some brain surgery tonight, that's because I discovered, looking into myself, this thing which I call this automatic brain. It's a primitive brain, and we all have it, just like we all have a mind. And when Richard was saying, you put your mind to it and believe, it is believing in our personal power. which is in our mind, not this primitive brain. And just to give you an example of primitive brain, there's a story with a motivational speaker once. He was telling this story. And he said that afterwards, a woman came up to him to ask him questions. And as she was asking him these questions, he started feeling really uncomfortable. And he had to stop her and say, you know, could you slow down? You know, I'm feeling really uncomfortable with this dialogue. And he asked her, what were you thinking about when you walked up to me? And she said, you know, I was thinking that you're going to think my questions are stupid and that I'm really not, really kind of an idiot. And he said, well, how did that make you feel towards me? And she said, it made me not like you. So here it was. Before, during, and after, she already created her reality. Very powerful, but that's the automatic brain, because this primitive brain, all it does, it surveys for danger, threat, or vulnerability. That's all it is. Everybody's danger, threat, or vulnerability is different, but the reaction is the same, fight or flight. It makes us fight or flee. We all know that reaction. Anybody ever got stopped by a police officer and seen the lights in the rearview mirror? Anybody? Okay. Or been called up to answer a question and you weren't expecting it? Or come up in public speak? Okay. You know that feeling? Well, that feeling also controls our ability to go out and create our life. That also creates the way we interact with people. It also creates our negativity and our positivity, our ability to be positive. So I was really happy that Susan gave me this opportunity to speak tonight, because network marketing exactly fits within this. You have your automatic brain, which tells you it's not going to work. You know, I'm really charged up, but when I go out there, nobody's going to listen to me. It's not, it's a pipe dream. I can never do this. I can never succeed like Richard or Matthew. No, you know, that's, you know, forget it. I can never do that. Susan, you know, that would never happen to me. That's not me. I'm not like them. That guy who's driving around in a fancy car, oh, he got his money, you know, he cheated a lot of people. So you already have that in your brain, but that's not your mind. See, we all have that mind, and that's very, very powerful. And whether you believe in God or not, that's your connection with your true potential, your personal power, or God, or religion, or spirituality, whatever it is. When you tap into that, and when you believe, see what Richard said, when you believe 100% in yourself, and when you look forward, and when your back is against the past, and your arms are around the future, that's when you really succeed. Because just like the disclaimers say in the financial markets, they say that past results don't guarantee future return, whatever. That's the same in our lives. We define ourselves by our past mistakes, and unfortunately, that's what the automatic brain kind of latches onto. It defaults to the worst case scenario, because that's what it thinks can hurt us. But we all have a mind. And so, in closing tonight, I thank you for giving me this opportunity, because even though I'm a medical doctor, you know, I find that this is so important. This meaning people's personal belief in themselves is so important with overall health. Yes, we could feed our bodies with proper nutrition, but unless we believe in ourselves and our ability, we're never going to be truly happy or balanced. Okay, so thank you for this opportunity. It's a great company. I feel very privileged, really, to you know, be with the owners, really, the owners of the company. I mean, this is a real, true, groundbreaking opportunity for me, and so far I'm enjoying the product too. And again, it's a true product. It's not some made-up thing. So believe in that, and I think really there's great things that can come out of it. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it.